Welcome back. Today, we're exploring the Mexican-American War, a conflict that drastically reshaped the borders, politics, and futures of the United States and Mexico. This journey will cover the causes, major battles, and far-reaching consequences of this important war. To understand the Mexican-American War, we need to look back at how tensions built between these two nations, beginning with the independence of Mexico. In 1821, Mexico won its independence from Spain and inherited vast territories stretching from modern-day Mexico to California. These areas were sparsely populated and difficult to govern, especially in the northern frontier. Mexico encouraged Americans to settle in Texas, hoping they'd help protect this northern frontier. However, settlers brought their own cultural values and practices, including slavery, which was illegal in Mexico. In 1836, the Texans declared independence from Mexico, leading to the Texas Revolution and the famous battles of the Alamo and San Jacinto. Though Mexico lost control over Texas, it never recognized Texas as an independent state. When Texas joined the United States in 1845, tensions escalated. The U.S. claimed the Rio Grande as Texas's border, while Mexico held to the Nueces River further north. This disagreement set the stage for conflict. With Texas annexed, U.S. President James K. Polk focused on further expansion. Polk was a strong proponent of manifest destiny, the idea that the United States was destined to expand across the continent. Polk wanted more than Texas. His administration was eyeing California, New Mexico, and other Mexican territories. However, when diplomatic attempts to purchase these lands failed, Polk turned to military action. In early 1846, Polk ordered General Zachary Taylor and troops into the disputed territory, essentially provoking a response. Mexican forces engaged, and on April 25, 1846, shots were fired, killing American soldiers. Polk used this incident to claim that American blood had been shed on American soil, urging Congress to declare war. On May 13, 1846, the U.S. declared war on Mexico. Before we jump into the battles, let's examine the strengths and strategies of each side. The United States had a smaller but better equipped and organized military. In contrast, Mexico had a larger army, but was plagued by internal conflicts and limited resources. The American strategy was clear: divide Mexican forces by launching a multi-pronged attack. General Zachary Taylor would advance south from Texas. Colonel Stephen Kearny would capture New Mexico and California, and General Winfield Scott would strike directly at Mexico City. General Taylor's forces engaged Mexican troops in the initial battles of the war, starting with the battles of Palo Alto and Resaca de la Palma. In May 1846, despite being outnumbered, Taylor's forces won both battles, showcasing their superior artillery and organization. Taylor continued his campaign south, eventually capturing Monterrey after a brutal battle in September 1846. This victory marked a major turning point, though Taylor was soon ordered to halt his advance as President Polk shifted focus to Winfield Scott's Mexico City campaign. While Taylor advanced in the north, the U.S. also aimed to secure California and New Mexico. Colonel Stephen Kearny captured Santa Fe with minimal resistance. Meanwhile, John C. Fremont led the Bear Flag Revolt in California, helping secure the territory with the support of U.S. naval forces. By early 1847, U.S. forces had firm control over California, marking another significant victory. Finally, the U.S. launched its most ambitious campaign, the capture of Mexico City, Mexico's heart. In March 1847, Scott's forces captured the port of Veracruz after a 20-day siege, giving the U.S. a foothold in central Mexico. From there, Scott moved inland, engaging in battles at Cerro Gordo and other strategic locations. In September 1847, U.S. troops stormed Chapultepec Castle, a symbolic stronghold of Mexican defenses. With Chapultepec's fall, American forces entered Mexico City. By capturing the capital, the United States effectively ended the major fighting. With its capital occupied, Mexico was forced to negotiate. On February 2, 1848, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo was signed, officially ending the war. Under the treaty, Mexico ceded a massive portion of its territory to the United States. This included present-day California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and parts of Colorado, Wyoming, and New Mexico. In exchange, the U.S. paid Mexico $15 million and agreed to assume certain claims against Mexico. The Mexican-American War had lasting consequences for both countries and reshaped North America in profound ways. For the United States, the war marked a massive territorial expansion. However, the new lands sparked intense debate over whether slavery would be allowed in these territories, exacerbating the sectional tensions that led to the Civil War. For Mexico, the war was devastating. It lost half of its territory, creating a deep sense of resentment and mistrust toward the U.S. The war also impacted the economy and political stability, leading to decades of internal struggles and reforms. The people living in the ceded territories, many of whom were Mexican citizens, suddenly found themselves under U.S. rule. These communities faced legal, social, and economic challenges, often treated as second-class citizens. Their unique cultural legacy remains a vital part of the Southwest today. The Mexican-American War was about much more than territorial disputes. It reshaped the political and social fabric of North America. The tensions and outcomes of this war continue to influence U.S.-Mexico relations and the lives of millions along the border. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into pivotal moments in history.